Welcome to the official Monday Night RAW review and results video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and turn on those bells for all notifications. Monday Night RAW tonight. From the, let's see what it's from tonight. The Giant Center in Hershey, Pennsylvania. I don't know about you guys, but it still hasn't hit me yet. It still hasn't hit me yet that John Cena has officially retired. Now, I know what I spoke about on Saturday Night's main event review, which will be down below in the description, in the annotation that you see on the upper hand corner of your screen. I said this on Saturday as to how John Cena tapped out to Gunther. I came home from work, rewatched the match all over again, because it was that great of a match. And then Cena, as he's been locked in on the sleeper, Cena had a smile on his face. And he tapped out. Which goes to show, if you're a smart wrestling fan, goes to show that who was really behind that decision to tap out to Gunther. It was John himself. We will talk about everything else from the beginning of the year to last Saturday night on episode 1 of the Near Thought podcast tomorrow, which I have the thumbnail ready to go. All I have to do is record the video and it'll be up on the channel early tomorrow afternoon. Episode 1 of the Near Thought podcast. John Cena's career is over. Where does WWE go from here? We will talk all about that tomorrow on episode number 1 of the Near Thought podcast. But Monday Night RAW tonight, or should I say, sleep-inducing Monday Night RAW. The crowd tonight at the Giant Center in Hershey, Pennsylvania was completely fucking dead. But the show wasn't that bad tonight. Wasn't that bad. We got Gunther kicking off Monday Night RAW tonight, which I expected. I said it on social media earlier when I was at work on my second break. I said it word for word. WWE needs to kick things off with RAW tonight with Gunther. And by God, they did. We will talk about what Gunther said and his actions on the opening segment of Monday Night RAW. Which, I'll say this now. My boy Kevin texted me during that segment and he told me he's such a troll. Listen, Gunther is great. I don't understand all the Gunther hate on social media. I really, really don't. I don't. I really just don't at this point. We will talk about Gunther tonight. We got Raquel Rodriguez going up against Stephanie Vaquer for the Women's World Championship. We got Maxxine Dupri making her first title defense against Ivy Nile. We got the New Day taking on the Usos. Logan Paul battles Rey Mysterio in tonight's main event. And then we got word from CM Punk tonight on Monday Night RAW. I thought RAW tonight wasn't a bad show. Wasn't a bad show tonight. But I will tell you this, though. They are stacking the living shit out of January 5th at Barclays Center. So far, we got 2 matches confirmed for that show. We got Punk versus Braun Breaker for the World Championship. By the way, I'm crowning Braun Breaker the new World Champion at that show. And also, we just got word earlier tonight on RAW. We are getting Io and Rhea going up against the Kabuki Warriors for the Women's Tag Team titles. So far, that RAW on January 5th is looking like a banger show in Brooklyn. Finally, folks, I'll say this right now. Finally, we got a reveal. Thank Christ. We knew for weeks it was reported coming out of Survivor Series. I had figured, okay, they're really going to play the long game on this masked person. They're really going to announce this masked person on January 5th. Nope. We got the reveal tonight on this show. And it's none other than Austin Theory himself. I like it. I like it. He looks more serious. Now, we need to know why Austin Theory joined the Vision. Now, Paul Heyman basically lied to Adam Pearce saying, oh, he doesn't know who is the masked person. One thing about Paul Heyman people need to understand is, what did Paul Heyman say a couple of weeks ago before Survivor Series? He's always one step ahead. You ain't think for 1 second that Paul Heyman knew who this masked person is? It's Austin Theory. Now you got Theory, you got Logan Paul, you got Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed in the Vision. That vision stable now looks absolutely insane. Now, I'm going to say this now. This could be a make or break situation for Austin Theory. If this doesn't work with Austin Theory in the Vision, he's officially done. Because I remember, the last time we seen him, he was in a tag team with Grayson Waller, and how terrible that was. Now I need Austin Theory next week to cut a promo as to why us, the fans, should take him serious. Austin Theory should cut a promo next week to tell us why he joined the Vision. Why? What is your purpose in the Vision? What is your purpose? Now, I'm going to give this a chance here with Austin Theory. I'm going to give this a chance. But if it doesn't work, I'm not going to take him serious. So again, I'm going to, what the people say in the IWC, I'm going to let it play out. Give him a shot next week. And let's see. We'll go over everything what happened on this episode of Monday Night Raw tonight from the Giant Center in Hershey, Pennsylvania. If you guys don't know who I am Chris. Thank you guys so much for returning back into the channel. If you guys thought Raw wasn't that bad of a show, hit that like button. Leave a comment down below your thoughts of the show. Also, leave a comment down below. Has it even hit you yet that John Cena is officially retired? Leave a comment down below. The comment section is now yours. And also, if you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on those bells, guys, for all notifications. Saturday night's main event review is officially live on the channel. Link to that video will be down below in the description of this very video. Also, in the annotation that you see on the upper hand corner of your screen. I did not cover SmackDown last Friday because SmackDown wasn't that bad of a show, even though I didn't really watch it. But I did hear from people that SmackDown wasn't that bad of a show. So, it is what it is. I did not cover SmackDown. Raw review from last week is live on the channel right now. Link to that video will also be down below in the description of this very video. Also, in the upper hand corner of your screen in the annotation. Guys, this is the official home of the Near Fall Podcast. We cover Raw on Mondays. Tomorrow, folks, will be episode number 1 of the Near Fall Podcast. As I mentioned earlier, we will talk about everything from John Cena's farewell year, his farewell tour. That'll be episode number 1 tomorrow. We also cover Friday Night SmackDown and all WWE PLEs right here on the channel. If you guys want to follow me on social media, please do so. Twitter at NotThisNotChris. TikTok at GoodVibesChris with 2 S's and 1 underscore. And also, if you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below and turn those bells, guys, for all the notifications. Let's review Monday Night Raw tonight for your December 15th, 2025. Monday Night Raw kicked off tonight with a recap of Saturday Night's main event from this past Saturday and John Cena's retirement. Now, before I go over, I didn't get a chance to say this on Saturday night. I didn't get a chance to say this real quick, but I will say it now. Did I get emotional on Saturday night? I did. Because John Cena was basically a part of our childhood. He was a part of my childhood from elementary school, going into middle school, and then going into high school. I watched John Cena grow from being the person that had ruthless aggression to becoming the face of the company for over 20 years. John, in my honest opinion, he's one of the all-time greats. He's one of the GOATs. But is he the GOAT? Again, that's a very subjective conversation to have. Because, again, like I said on Saturday, many people can say John Cena is the greatest of all time. Many people can say Ric Flair is the greatest of all time. Many people can say that The Undertaker is the greatest of all time. If you guys ask me right now, who is in my top 5 GOATs of all time? Flair, because of the longevity, and he's the greatest heel of all time. 2 will be Taker. Taker, again, longevity, 21-0 at WrestleMania. And he had the greatest character of all time. Number 3 will be Shawn Michaels, greatest in-ring performer of all time. Mr. WrestleMania. Number 4 will be Bret the Hitman Hart. Again, he's the axis of execution. 5-time world champion. He was responsible for having one of my favorite SummerSlam matches of all time between him and The Undertaker back at SummerSlam 97 in New Jersey. Having the greatest ending to a WWF Championship match of all time. Then I got John Cena. I could put Stone Cold there at number 5. I could put The Rock there at number 5. I could put Triple H there at number 5. But I'm going to put John Cena there at number 5 because not only longevity, the accomplishments that he's had, also he's a 17-time world champion, so that you cannot ignore. And also he's just one of those guys that is willing to put the future over. He's one of those people that would put the future over. And you don't see that many guys right now like that on the main roster. Or should I say currently in wrestling. You really don't. So if you narrow down my top 5 GOATs of all time, Flair, Taker, Shawn, Bret the Hitman Hart, and John Cena. I can make an argument of either John Cena or Stone Cold Steve Austin. Or Triple H there as my number 5. But you guys get the picture. John's one of my all-time favorites. He's had so much memories. He's accomplished so much. And I wish John nothing but the best. So, if John ever gets a chance to even watch this video, which I really doubt that he does, all I want to say to John is thank you. And I appreciate your entire career. I really do. I appreciate you not only as a person. The fact that John even follows me on Twitter is insane to me, which I will never forget. That is one of my best moments there on social media was the fact that John Cena followed me on Twitter. But your contributions to the business, how you carried this business on your back since, I want to say since 2005, going on to this year. So you've been carrying this company for the last 20 years. Yeah, sure, you've been on and off for the last few years, but I'm not really going to put that as a negative light. So, thank you, John, and I wish you nothing but the best in your retirement. And I know for sure John will be an incredible ambassador for the WWE. So the show opens up with a recap of Saturday's main event and John Cena's retirement match. Gunther makes his entrance with a mic in hand. And folks, that crowd was booing the living shit out of Gunther. That was probably the loudest part of the entire show tonight. Was the beginning of the show when Gunther came out. The loudest the crowd has been all night. Because this crowd was dead for most of the show. He takes all the energy in as Gunther sucks chants and you tapped out chants go up before beginning. Saying he did what he did. He did what he said he would. He said he did what he said he would do. Try saying that 5 times. He made John Cena give up. And when he gave up, he tapped out like a little bitch. The ring general drops the mic, walks out to thunderous boos. Listen, I hear all the boos as Gunther is trying to talk over the crowd. It gave me WrestleMania 33 vibes when Roman beat The Undertaker and it came on to the Raw after WrestleMania in Orlando and got completely slaughtered out of the building. Talk about heel heat there that Roman caught back in 2017. And I say it then and I'll say it to my last dying breath. That was the moment on that Raw after WrestleMania in 2017. That was the moment for Roman to turn heel. That was the moment where Roman should have turned heel. Was that night. Where he got completely slaughtered by that crowd in Orlando at the Amway Center that night. I will never forget that episode of Raw. So the ring general drops the mic and walks out to thunderous boos. But halfway up the ramp, he turns around, goes back to the ring, and poses in the turnbuckles. He poses towards the turnbuckles. You suck chance rain down as Gunther takes the lead for a second time. smiling and laughing on his way to the stage, and then he turns back around, goes to the ring once more, again, saying he made John Cena tap out like a little bitch, and it's his time now. Good for every the man that made John Cena give up in his final match. He leaves once more, having a jolly old time. He got out of the announce table. He was on top of the announce table then. He cut his promo. He leaves one more time, having a jolly old time, scrolling back to the ramp, and this time he makes his way through Gorilla, with the cameras following him further to the bowels of the arena. We keep walking with smiling Gunther as he runs into Alpha Academy. Otis says he must feel pretty good in like a shaming way. And the ring general agrees he feels pretty damn good, as he should. Next, Gunther runs into Ron Killings, R-Truth, who calls him a piece of trash, which he gently agrees in a smug kind of think what you like, I beat the guy way. Gunther, at that point, Gunther just so cocky and so arrogant, which I really love. Then Adam Pearce rolls up to ask if he's proud of walking over John Cena's legacy like that, and he is. He says, yeah, he's proud of it. Pearce says that doesn't make him the ring general, it makes him an asshole. Gunther says sure, and asks if there's anything else. Adam says he's done for the night and should find the exit. So Gunther, that was the last time we saw Gunther for the entire show. Then things got interesting from there. Gunther does so, and the camera follows him out into the parking lot, where he runs into AJ Styles leaning against his car. He asks if he has anything to tell him. AJ just gestures for the car, and Gunther gets inside the driver's seat, starts to drive off, stops, rolling his window down for one cheeky. He says, hey, AJ. Goes up with the windows and drives out of the arena and out of the parking lot. And that was where this segment came to a close. Boy, tell me how you got heel heat without telling me you got heel heat. Man, Gunther's so great. Man, listen. I've seen all the discourse on social media as to how the main event ended on Saturday night, on how people thought it was Triple H's decision. You can tell. Go watch the match back if you do. Gunther had Cena on the sleeper hold. Cena smiled and tapped out. That right there should tell you, right there and then, it should tell you, the person that's watching this video, that smile on John Cena's face as he tapped out should tell you right there and then who was the one that made that decision. I said it on the review on Saturday. I even said it on my TikTok video. Go watch that video on my TikTok. You guys are mad at the wrong person. And again, I said this. You guys don't think that John Cena has earned the right to call what he wants to do and call how he wants the match to finish? You guys don't think Cena has earned that right to do so? If you don't think so, you're the biggest fucking idiot walking God's green earth. Sure, I'm going to sit here and say this now. I think John won it. I think John called for it to tap out to Gunther. Triple H just finalized it. No shit. Hunter was going to finalize it. You guys are mad at the wrong person here. Triple H is not to blame. Hunter is not to blame. Hunter probably went to Cena's locker room on Saturday night, early Saturday afternoon, and he asked John, what do you want to do with the match? What do you want to do with the ending? John probably told Triple H that he wanted to tap out to Gunther. That's the story. How will it look? And on top of that, a lot of people are not thinking about this. Gunther said it when he won the tournament, and he won it, and he said it on Raw last Monday. He wants to break John Cena's spirit. He wants to be the guy to make him tap out. How would it look for Gunther if he said that only to come in the Saturday Night's main event and not do what you said that you was going to do? It will make Gunther look like the biggest fucking idiot. It will literally make Gunther look like a complete idiot. Oh, I'm going to make John Cena tap out. Let's go to Saturday and not make him tap out. Gunther is a heel, folks. Understand that. Gunther is a heel. Understand that, ladies and gentlemen. And if you don't get that, and if you don't understand that, and if you can't process that in your brain, then I can't help you. Plain and simple. Wrestling 101. When you're about to retire, you lay on your back as you're about to retire. Sure. Did that happen? No. Cena tapped out. That was his call. And then when the report comes out, when everything else comes out saying, oh yeah, Cena was behind this decision, you people who was mad at Triple H will be looking like a complete fucking buffoon. When that report comes out, God knows when that happens, but when that report comes out and it says, oh, Cena was 100% behind that decision to tap out to Gunther. How are you guys going to feel then? Like complete fucking idiots. Now we get this segment with Gunther and AJ. Is that a future WrestleMania match between AJ Styles and Gunther? Styles did say that 2026 will be his final year in ring. Does Gunther retire AJ Styles at WrestleMania in Vegas? It's possible. Sure. Or do we get Gunther and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania? That I don't know. Great segment here. Gunther was cocky. He was arrogant. He sounded like a complete asshole that I love. You're a heel. You're supposed to act that way. Gunther got so much heat by tapping out John Cena. Brother, I saw videos on social media that Gunther had to be escorted by security as he left the Capital One Arena on Saturday. Tell me how to get heel heat without telling me you got heel heat. When you have to be escorted out of the building by security, as fans are recording and saying what they're saying about Gunther. Oh, fuck you, Gunther. You suck. All of those. All of that. Tell me how you can get heel heat without telling me you can get heel heat. Gunther just accomplished that right there. I saw something on social media today when I was at work. Oh, that Gunther should be coming out to John Cena's theme. That's how he can get major heat. Boy, imagine that. Imagine Gunther came out to John Cena's theme. Tell me how you want to piss off the fans without telling me you want to piss off the fans. This was great. Gunther is great. Gunther's just amazing. At this point, I don't know how you can hate on someone like Gunther. I don't know how. Gunther is just old school. He's just old school. And I respect that 1,000,000%. This was a great segment to kick off Raw. I even called it. You want to start things hot tonight? Have Gunther kick off Raw. Could you imagine the reaction he could have gotten? Go back and watch that opening segment on Raw tonight and you tell me the reaction that he got. Insane. Then we get the usual montage of talent arriving at the arena. The usual shtick that they do every single week. The Usos make their entry to the crowd to send us to a commercial break. Yeet. We get the Usos against the New Day. Good match here. Really good TV match here. I said this on Twitter earlier when I was watching the show. When the Usos and the New Day are in a tag team match together, they create magic. Who could forget their tag team Hell in a Cell match back in 2017? That was a great Hell in a Cell match. That was a great tag team Hell in a Cell match. Great. Phenomenal match. We get the New Day versus the Usos. This was not an official #1 contenders match. They didn't claim it that it was. It was just a normal tag team match. But this was good. This was good for what it was. Jimmy and Kofi to start, filling out off the ropes, drop downs and leapfrogs. Kingston goes for an early trouble in paradise. But Uso has a scouting, up and over, big right hand, tagging Jay. Backsplash, corner insecurity. New Day get a step ahead to take control. This send us to commercial break. Back from commercial. This match, by the way, got 2 commercials, by the way. 2 commercials. So just know that. Jim makes a tag, cleaning house. Big Shote knocks Woods off the apron. Kick lays Kingston out. Odd to Rikishi. Heading up top, Grayson Waller runs into Vince and Kofi knocks Uso off the apron. Waller bashes Jimmy's face into the ring post. Xavier dives on Jay as he comes around to save his brother. Unicorn stampede on Big Jim, hanging him in a tree of woe. But he sits up and Kingston crosses himself on the post. Tag to Jay, right hands for everybody. Sidestep onto the post, but he keeps rolling. Super kick for a 2 count on Xavier. Diving crossbody for a near fall as we go to a second commercial break. Back from the second commercial break of the match, Jay holding off with right hands, knocking Xavier Woods down. Whip reversed. Waller trips him and the referee, Ross Zapata, ejects him from ringside. Tag to Jimmy. Woods throws a tantrum in the ropes. Usos with super kick party take down both New Day men down. Up in opposite corners, stereo splashes. Xavier Woods manages to kick out. Passing Jim to the floor. X hits a tornado DDT. Kingston tags in. Shadows over Hell. Tag out. Backbreaker. Daylight. Jay breaks it up. Trouble in Paradise clocks Jey Uso after. Kicking at Big Jim, drawing him up. Uso slips out. Super kick cuts Kofi out of midair, and one knocks Xavier off the apron and into a spear from Jay to the corner. To the floor. On the floor. Duck under Trouble in Paradise. Jimmy hit the spear, tapped to Jay off the ropes. Usos hit the 1D on Kofi Kingston. Gets the 1, 2, 3. And the Usos pick up the victory over the New Day. Good match. Again, this is a good match. Good TV match here. Now, I just want to know when the Usos get that World Tag Team title match against AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. If I was to guess, they're probably going to book that match for January 5th on Raw in Brooklyn. If I was to guess. They'll probably book that match for Raw in Brooklyn on January 5th. Commentary hypes up the January 5th Netflix anniversary Raw card. Again, we got 2 matches confirmed. We got Punk and Breaker for the World Championship. And Io Sky and Rhea Ripley goes up against the Kabuki Warriors for the women's tag team titles on that show in Brooklyn. Should be a stacked up card for sure. We get a Kabuki Warriors promo where they berate Io Sky for abandoning them. Rio are shown backstage, sending us to the break. Back for commercial break, we get a recap of LA Knight getting written off by the Vision a few weeks ago. This happened last week. Not a few weeks ago. This happened last week on Raw. Logan Paul congratulates Bronson Reed on his part of all that. And Braun Breaker says now it's CM Punk's turn. Logan asks if the Masked Man is going to show up and Paul Heyman says he doesn't know who he is, but he'll take the help. And if they align with each other, he'll take the help. Paul Heyman knows who it is. Like I said earlier, Paul Heyman said he's always one step ahead. Braun pulls Heyman aside and tells him if Punk shows up, he's taking him out. He's not waiting. Paul says if Breaker takes him out tonight, he's not going to be available for his title defense on Raw, and begs him to please listen and wait and beat him on January 5th and become the new World Heavyweight Champion. Logan asks Braun to lock in and help him beat Rey Mysterio tonight, and Breaker agrees. Rio makes their entrance, and Asuka, out of nowhere, spits the poison mist at Rhea Ripley. Kairi Singh jumps Io Sky, and the Kabukis beat her down, throwing her into the steel steps. A blinded Rhea tries to fight back into it, but the Kabukis get the better of her and throw her inside the referees. Throws her inside as the referees arrive to try to break things up. Asuka hip checks Jessica Carr, holds Ripley in position for the diving elbow, and Io rushes in to cover Rhea up and takes the elbow right in the middle of her spine. That was a good spot there, I'm not gonna lie to you. So it was announced earlier in the show that we're getting a women's tag team championship match on January 5th between Rhea and Io against the Kabuki Warriors. Should be a great match. Should be a great match. Now, my question is, do they crown Rhea and Io the new women's tag team champions? That's going to be the question. Because Stephanie's going to need opponents going into WrestleMania season. She's going to need opponents for sure. For sure for the Rumble. Probably that Saturday Night's Main Event in Montreal. Rumble, Chamber in Chicago, then WrestleMania in Vegas. Who do they have lined up for Stephanie between January going into WrestleMania? We still got to get Rhea and Stephanie. That's one big matchup that should take place at WrestleMania. For sure. I'll make this prediction right now. I know we're at, what is it, December 15th? The Rumble's not till the end of January. I'm going to make this prediction right now when it comes to the women. I think Bianca's going to win the Women's Rumble in Saudi Arabia. I think Bianca will win her second Rumble. And I think Bianca will obviously challenge Jade Cargill for the Women's Championship at WrestleMania. I think Rhea will possibly win the Women's Elimination Chamber, and she gets Stephanie at WrestleMania. That's what I think it'll go down to. Bianca winning the Rumble, Rhea winning the Chamber. You can certainly do that. What's Raw's biggest women's match that they can book? Stephanie and Rhea. What's SmackDown's biggest women's match that they can book? Bianca and Jade. Clip it, ship it, send it to social media. When it happens, you know where you got it from. Mind you, we're in December. The Rumble and the Chamber is not till January and February. Bianca wins the Rumble, she gets Jade Cargill. Rhea wins the Chamber, she gets Stephanie. There you go. But again, my question is, do they crown Rhea and Io Women's Tag Team Champions on January 5th? I don't know. That I don't know. Because again, like I mentioned, Stephanie is going to need opponents going into WrestleMania season. Stephanie and Io, I would love for those two to run it back again. Because that match at WrestlePalooza was really, really good. It was a great match. They still got to run Rhea and Stephanie, which I predict could happen at WrestleMania. Sure. But we'll get to Stephanie in just a little bit. Back for commercial, we get a recap of what we just saw because Raw is approximately 2.5 hours long. It always goes 2.5 hours long every single week, which I don't really mind. I don't really mind. Could you imagine Raw on Netflix went 3 hours? Apparently SmackDown's going to 3 hours in a couple of weeks. In the beginning of the year. In the beginning of the year. SmackDown's going 3 hours. Brother, they better have the roster. Because those SmackDowns as of late have been complete dog shit. So let's see. Let's see. Maxxine Dupri makes her first title defense against Ivy Nile. Folks, what has Ivy Nile done to earn a championship match? Nothing. Nothing. Now, obviously, we've been getting vignettes with Maxxine Dupri and Natalya back at the dungeon. That's been some great stuff. And from the match that we got tonight with Ivy Nile, and Maxxine Dupri, Maxxine really looked really good in this match. She looked really, really good. The work that she's been doing with Natty has really shown in this match. Oh, it's shown in this match. This was probably Maxxine Dupri's best performance the entire year. She looked that good. That good. And I hope she gets better and better and better. One thing I love to see is superstars, especially like Maxxine Dupri, progress better in the ring. She looked really good in this match. She did. We get a spine buster from Ivy Nile to Maxxine Dupri. Dupri gets a cross armbar in the ropes. Ivy counters with a slam into the apron. German suplex on the floor. Now taunting, and we go to commercial break. Again, these other commercial breaks have been insane work. Back for commercial, fighting on the apron. Dupri shoves her to the corner, but now ducks a kick and trips her into the apron. Back inside, small package from Maxxine, only a 2 count, near fall there. Ivy scoops her up. Dupri slips out. Inverted face lock from Nile, hoisting her up, but Maxxine counters with a power driver. Trading elbow from the knees and to their feet. Dupri straighten up. Still resolving her spine. Lariats and boots. Backslide back neck breaker. Kip up. Running her tongue along her teeth. Bridging fisherman suplex. No deal. Off the ropes. Front kick. Ivy ducks a roundhouse and hits a spine buster for a 2 count. Punches in the corner. Dupri counters with a power bomb into a bridging pin. Another close near fall there. Nile catches her with a tree of woe. Dragon sleeper for a full 5. Hesitation drop kick up top. Maxxine sits up. Spider belly to belly suplex. The straps they're basically upside down there. Dupri pictures her up top. No one home. Bridging schoolboy from Ivy. Kick out at 2. And into an ankle lock. Maxxine hanging on. Nile's foot and the ankle as she pivots. Ivy kicks her away, but she comes right back to the ankle lock. Kicking the champion onto the corner. Heel kick from Dupri. Right back to the ankle lock. Falling back into the grapevine. Which Ivy now had her leg there. Ivy screaming in agony, and she taps out. Maxxine Dupri retains by submission and retains the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Good match here. Good match. Not that bad. Not that bad whatsoever. Not that bad. Like I said, this was Maxxine Dupri's. This was probably her best performance so far the entire year so far. She looked really good in this match. And again, the progression that she's making in the ring is really impressive. Really impressive. I like what I saw here. I'm not gonna lie to you, I kind of want to see more of Maxxine. I do. I kind of want to see more. Good match for what it was, but again, what did Ivy Nile do to deserve a championship match? Nothing. Obviously, this was Dupri's first title defense, so it wasn't going to be that predictable and have her lose. But at the same time, she wasn't going to lose in her first title defense. So, Maxxine Dupri retains the Women's Intercontinental Championship in what I thought was a pretty okay match. We get a hype reel for the NXT talent featured on Saturday Night's main event. Javon Evans is backstage with Adam Pearce. I can see Javon Evans more on SmackDown than on Raw, because SmackDown really needs the talent. Raw's roster is completely stacked. It's just SmackDown that I'm worried about. If there's one thing that SmackDown definitely needs is a refresh. One thing's for certain. Pearce says he certainly has his attention, and Los Americanos roll up to chat. El Grande Americano complains about his boys not being on Saturday Night's main event instead of this NXT jerk Javon Evans. Evans says he knows enough Spanish to know that when he's being trash talked, and maybe he should watch himself. Adam asks Evans if he's free next week and books a match between Javon Evans and Rayo Americano next week. Should be a good match next week. Javon Evans' Raw debut next week? Sign me up. Sign me up there. Back from commercial break, we get the World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk making his first Raw appearance since the Raw before Survivor Series. This is the first time we see Punk since Survivor Series, and the commentary team said Punk was out, I believe, due to an injury. But we all know why Punk was out of TV for the last 2 weeks, because he lost his dog, Larry, on the week after Survivor Series. He lost his dog, Larry, so my prayers, my love, and my condolences go out to CM Punk and AJ Lee. Punk is in the ring with a microphone in his hand. He says he was forced to miss 2 consecutive Raws because people that are smarter than him wouldn't clear him to fight or fly. But Punk, we all know why you missed the last 2 Raws. We all know. It's not because you weren't cleared. We all know why. But getting hurt wasn't as painful as sitting at home and listening to Braun Breaker talk about him. He calls Braun a cross-eyed nipple baby and says he knows smarts don't run in his family, but he signed up for war games, not board games. And his team won, and he's got the audacity to stand here, and talk about how easy it was to pin CM Punk. And you talk about how you won 2011 CM Punk when you can't handle 2025 CM Punk without a lot of help from his friends. Assist from a Brock Lesnar F5, or a Braun Strowman Tsunami, or a Drew McIntyre splitting his head open on a cage, or help from a masked man, which, by the way, we will talk about later tonight. So congratulations, you pinned him, and you earned a title shot, but you didn't do it alone, did you? He's been here before many times, and you just asked how many times Paul Heyman gassed young talent up a little too much too soon, and they whittled under the hot lights. If you had a dime for every time he's been crossed from a young hot talent gassed up as the next big thing, he have a pocket full of dimes. And if you ever mention his wife again, it goes from business to personal, and it'll rip your eyes out of your head and piss on your single-digit IQ brain. He'll tell Bronson to show up alone on January 5th to test himself one-on-one against the best in the world, but he knows he won't do it because he doesn't have the heart or the belief in himself. So go ahead. Bring Paul Heyman, the Vision, the Masked Man, the National Guard. He'll call up your dumb father and his dumber brother Scott, because you're going to need all the help you can get to stand a snowball's chance in hell of beating him for the World Heavyweight Championship. And when he wins, and he says when he wins, and Braun wakes up and see Heyman's gone, on to the next big thing, and his mystery man isn't showing his face, all he'll have left is Dumb and Dumber, and even with Steiner math, GTS equals 1, 2, 3, you lose, Punk wins, and still the World Heavyweight Champion and best in the world, CM Punk. One thing about Punk that I love so much is that he can cut a promo. But again, same thing with Cody. When Punk is serious, he can cut a promo when he's serious. He really could. They're really building up this match for January 5th in Brooklyn. Again, I just think they should crown Braun Breaker the new World Heavyweight Champion. I think the match will be good, because Breaker is good in the ring, so is Punk. One thing about Punk is that he's one hell of a worker. But if I had the pen, I'm giving Braun Breaker the World Heavyweight Championship, and possibly have him go up against Roman at WrestleMania for the World Championship. But again, what does Punk do at WrestleMania? That I don't know. Does he end up feuding with the Vision going into WrestleMania? Possibly. Possibly. Because there is a possible chance that Rollins does come back before WrestleMania. Again, from what I've heard, Rollins was supposed to come back around April. But the better he heals his shoulder, the more earlier he can come back. So I heard he can come back if he doesn't suffer any setbacks. He could come back by February. By February. Mind you, he got the shoulder surgery in October. After Crown Jewel. After Crown Jewel. So let's see what happens. I'm excited for the match on January 5th. But again, if I had the pen here, I am giving Braun Breaker the World Heavyweight Championship. Either crown him now or don't crown him at all. I did also see on Twitter that Breakker is the odds-on favorite to win the Royal Rumble. Now, let's say Breakker was to win the Royal Rumble, who would he face at WrestleMania? You're not going to do Breakker and Punk on January 5th, only for Breakker to lose, have him win the Rumble, and have him go after Punk again. That makes no fucking sense whatsoever. So what I would do is, I would crown Breakker the new world champion, the new world heavyweight champion. I'd possibly have Roman win the Royal Rumble. Again, depends on who's in the Rumble match. I would have Roman win the Rumble, and you would book Roman and Braun Breakker at WrestleMania for the World Championship. Now, what does Punk do at WrestleMania? The Elimination Chamber PLE is in Chicago, in the United Center. Punk can win the Chamber, and we get Punk and Cody at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. That I would do. That I would certainly do. And again, I'm going to say this for the umpteenth time. If there's one thing that SmackDown needs is a refresh. You can send Roman to Monday Night Raw. You can send Punk to Friday Night SmackDown. Could you imagine the feuds Punk can have on Friday Night SmackDown? Him and possibly Aleister Black. Him and Cody can have a few feuds. Him and Randy can rekindle the feud. There's work Punk can do on SmackDown. But again, will World Wrestling Entertainment make that move to have Punk go to SmackDown? I don't know. And after Punk drops the championship to Braun Breakker, what is there left for Punk to do on Raw? The only thing I can see Punk doing is going after Cody and the coveted WWE Championship at WrestleMania by winning the men's Elimination Chamber. Would I crown Cody? Would I crown CM Punk the new WWE Champion at WrestleMania? It's possible. Who says for Cody Rhodes to have another lengthy title reign? Who's to say that? Punk can beat Cody at WrestleMania if they go down that route, with Punk winning the Chamber. Sure. Again, I'm excited for the match on January 5th. I kind of want to be at that show. I don't know how much the tickets currently cost, but I kind of want to go to that show. So let's see what happens. Dominic Mysterio is chatting with Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez. Perez in the Judgment Day clubhouse about how great it'll be to see the Vision put his dad away. Liv asks where Finn Balor is, and Dom explains that he was with JD McDonough, who will be on the show for a bit. Morgan turns his attention to Raquel Rodriguez, who has a championship match against Stephanie Vaquer coming up, and offers to be in her corner tonight. Raquel turns her down and says she can beat Stephanie Vaquer by herself. Perez reaffirms her desire to go after the tag titles with Liv, and they all cheer one another. Stephanie Vaquer makes her entrance to send us a commercial. We get a women's world championship match between Stephanie Vaquer and Raquel Rodriguez. Now, this match wasn't that bad for what it was, and also for the amount of time that they got. They did get one commercial. They did. So we're going to go off from there. Coming out of commercial break, Rodriguez in control with a Japanese stranglehold. Vaquer breaks away. Lane kicks in, Singer Splash, getting Raquel in the corner, and she hits a dragon screw. Trying for a back suplex, blocked with an overhead elbow into the corner, shoulder block, up and over. This time Stephanie gets the back suplex. Devil's Kiss connects. Corner knee follows it. Underhooks. Rodriguez fights out and swats it down with a lariat. Spilling out to the floor, diving crossbody. Raquel catches her, but Stephanie slips out and puts it into the ring post. Out of nowhere, Kevin, I hope you're watching this. Nikki Bella jumps the guardrail and throws Vaquer into the ring post. As Stephanie wins by disqualification. Post-match, Nikki throws Raquel into the post as well, puts Stephanie into the barricade, and then takes her back inside the ring for Rack Attack 2.0. Nikki fucking Bella. I find this crazy how Nikki is still on my television. Kevin, I hope you're watching, sir. I hope you're watching. I texted Kevin saying, why is Nikki Bella here? What the fuck, man? Kevin said to ruin everything. I tell Kevin, get her off my TV. He says, don't disrespect now. Nikki Bella, man, why is she ruining Raquel Rodriguez's opportunity to win the Women's World Championship? Now, was Raquel going to win the championship? I don't think so. No. But the match was getting good. Not gonna lie to you. The match was getting pretty good. Until Nikki wants to come in and ruin shit. I don't know where they're going with this Nikki Bella story, but God, I pray. I pray that Nikki Bella does not get another Women's World Championship match against Stephanie Vaquer. Please, God. Please. Please. Thank you. Backstage, Adam Pearce grills Paul Heyman on the masked man identity. Paul suggested Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, Nick Aldis, Bruno Sammartino. Before saying again that he doesn't know, but for sure it's convenient that the masked man's agenda lines up with his. Pearce demands to know the man's identity by the end of the night. And I'm watching this and I'm thinking to myself, do we get a reveal tonight? If he does show up? Because I've been hearing rumors that it's Austin Theory. I even saw a report last week saying that it could be Montez Ford. Now that would have been interesting. I'm not going to lie to you. That would have been really interesting. To have Montez Ford not only jump from SmackDown to Raw, but to join the Vision. I'll say this now. This may be a little hot take here. If there's one thing that Montez Ford needs now, is a heel turn. There's a heel turn. Now, I can't see Bianca turn heel, but I could definitely see Montez Ford turn heel. I definitely could. Rhea Ripley shows up, wiping mist off her face, and she demands Asuka. Adam asks, how does next week sound? And she agrees to the match. So next week on Raw, we are getting Asuka versus Rhea Ripley next week. Should be a banger. Should be a banger of a show. Of a match. Rey Mysterio runs into CM Punk backstage, and Punk says he's going to have Rey's back against Logan Paul tonight, and they embrace and send us to the break. Back for the commercial break, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee are interviewed backstage. Styles says they're ready to defend the titles, and Lee agrees, saying they'll bring the fire to any team at any time. AJ is just going off the chat with Adam Pearce, and they do so. Maybe we get a future AJ Styles Gunther feud. I would prefer that. Maybe at WrestleMania. Maybe. If we don't get Gunther and Lesnar at WrestleMania, I would definitely do that. Nikki Bella. Rose up to say she won't apologize for putting people that are beneath her into their place, and she's sick of not being appreciated for being the legend she is, and Stephanie Vaquer and Raquel Rodriguez should be shining her boots. Well, sweetheart, just to correct yourself real quick, You don't wear boots. You wear Jordan 1s. Custom Jordan 1s. But I get what you're trying to say. Backstage, Bayley, or should I say, role model, congratulates Maxxine Dupri on a victory, and Dupri goes off to get some ice for her messed up fingertips, which gets Bayley chanting, "She's hardcore!" Now she walks off. Vaquer rolls up to check, and Bayley says she's not feeling great after losing to Soruka. And Lyra starts giving her a tough pep talk, shoving her and drawing the role model, role model, to the front. Bayley shouts at her and calls her a stupid idiot and storms off, and Vaquer nods approvingly. That's the Bayley I know. I like the pairing with Bayley and Lyra. I like it. At first, I was like, I don't think this is going to work. Now, they've been showing them for the last month and a half. They look really good together. I like the pairing. I really do. I like the pairing. Main event time. Time for the main event of this show. Crowd's been dead all night at this point in juncture. Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio. I will kick things off with the match from the commercial break. Paul whips him into the corner. Body avalanche connects off of the top. Nobody home. Mysterio passes him into the apron drop kick. Logan hanging on in a second, but he ducks the 619 and then hops back up onto the apron to cut Rey off. Up top, Mysterio lands an enziguri, then climbs up with him. Avalanche Frankensteiner cover. No deal. Two count. Near fall there. Moonsault. Logan counters. Running power slam. Still no 3 count. This is 2 there. Powerbomb counter. Rey gets him on the rope, but Paul cuts him off. Straight suplex. Hanging onto the face lock. Thinking 3 amigos with Eddie. Getting to the third one. He puts Mysterio up on the turnbuckles and gives him a little shimmy. Rey counters. Sunset flip. Powerbomb off the top rope. Great stuff there. Great spot. Suicide splash through the bottom rope. Fired up. The Braun and Braun connection comes through to the stage, but CM Punk appears to chase him off with a chair. Crucifix pin for a deep 2. From Mysterio uppercut up the second. Logan catches the Trias and counters with a leg with a gallon throw. Paul Heyman is at ringside. Crawls over. Heyman slips with the brass knucks. Mysterio drop kicks his knees, getting him in the second rope. 619 connects. Rey grabs the knucks, but the masked man runs in and stomps him on the apron. Paul at the top. Logan wins with a frog splash. 1, 2, 3. Logan Paul wins by pinfall with a frog splash. Logan and the masked man stare at each other, but the masked man runs away when CM Punk comes back, chair in hand. The masked man stops on the steps of the crowd, pulls his hood down, pulls his mask off, and it's revealed that it's Austin Theory. We knew. Punk gets down on the turnbuckles and Braun Breaker is in the ring to spear him in half. Braun kneels down, tells Punk never to talk that way about his family again before grabbing the title, holding it high as Punk rises in agony as the show goes off the air. Not bad show. Good main event here between Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio. Good main event. Good main event here. I thought Raw wasn't a bad show tonight. Wasn't a bad show. Again, I said this in the beginning of this video. If you guys want to go back to it. Now that Austin Theory is in the division, many people may be disappointed with that. Many people would be happy with that. I said it in the opening of this video. If you guys want to, again, go back to it. Now that Austin Theory is in the division, he needs to come to Monday Night Raw next week, cut a promo as to why he's in the division. Why? What brought him to the division? What can he add to the division. Basically, we want Logan Paul. We want Austin Theory to cut a promo on why we should take him serious. He's been booked. Think about this, folks. He beat John Cena. He beat John Cena 2 years ago for the U.S. Championship. He beat John Cena. And what did creative do with him ever since? Nothing. Nothing. He won the Money in the Bank, did nothing with it. He cashed in. He cashed in to win the U.S. title. That I will never forget. And also, like I said earlier, he beat John Cena at WrestleMania. In SoFi Stadium, he beat John Cena for the U.S. title. And what did it do with Austin Theory since? Nothing. Now, this is Austin Theory's opportunity to show us as to why we should take him serious. This is a make or break moment for Austin Theory. He's either going to sink or swim with the Vision. Next week or whenever the time comes that he cuts the promo as to why he joined the Vision and he has to explain himself, that's going to whether or not us, the wrestling fan, and us, the viewer, should either take him serious or not take him serious. Whether he's going to sink or swim. Austin Theory is young. He's very young, folks. I think he's still in his 20s. The man is young. And again, he beat John Cena at WrestleMania. And what did he do then? Nothing. This is his opportunity now. No pun intended to John. His time is now with the Vision. His time is now. The question is he going to sink or swim? I actually thought they was going to ride this out until January 5th. Brother, was I wrong? I'll admit it. I thought for a second they was going to really ride this out until the Punk Breaker match at Barclays Center in Brooklyn on January 5th. I thought they were going to legitimately ride this out. But they didn't. They thought tonight was a perfect night in Hershey, Pennsylvania. And quite possibly the most quiet crowd of the entire year. They had Theory show up tonight as the masked man. Again, his time is now, no pun intended, to cut a promo and tell us why he's in the Vision and why we should take him serious. If there's one person that can bring someone down and bring them all the way up, it's Paul Heyman. It's Paul Heyman. Look what he did with Roman. You remember that little time when Roman was being shoved down our throats, and then a pandemic happened, and then Roman backed out of the company for a little bit because he didn't want to get caught with anything. Then he comes back at SummerSlam in the Thunderdome, beats up Bray Wyatt, beats up Braun Strowman. Then the following SmackDown before Payback, which is the following week, how he aligned himself with Paul Heyman. That was the greatest decision Roman has ever done in his entire career. Again, if there's one person that can bring someone that's in the bottom and work his way all the way up and give that person all the knowledge in the world, it's Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman has a tremendous mind for the business. A great mind for the business of professional wrestling. If there's one person you want to work with and know some knowledge from that one specific person, it's Paul Heyman. Again, will this work or will this not work? I'm going to let what the cool kids say on social media. I'm going to let it play out and see what happens. And that, folks, is the end of our review. Not bad of a show tonight. Still hasn't hit me that Cena is retired. But it is what it is. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the channel tonight for Monday Night Raw Review. If you guys enjoyed the show tonight, hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below your thoughts of the show. Also, if you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on those bells, guys, for all notifications. Saturday night's main event review is live on the channel right now. Link to this video will be down below in the description of this very video. Also, in the annotation that you see on the upper hand corner of your screen, as well as Raw review from last Monday. Again, I did not cover SmackDown, but I did cover Raw this last Monday. Link to Raw review from last week will be down below in the description of this very video. Also, in the annotation that you see on the upper hand corner of your screen. This is the official home of the Near Fall Podcast. I do Raw reviews on Monday. Tomorrow, folks, don't miss tomorrow's upload. Episode 1 of the Near Fall Podcast, where we talk about John Cena's retirement tour of 2025. That will be uploaded tomorrow. And I also do Friday Night SmackDown review as well. And also WWE PLEs. And if you guys are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. Turn on those both guys for notifications. Also, guys, follow me on social media. Twitter at NotThisNotChris. And TikTok, Good Vibes Chris with 2 S's and 1 underscore. I will see you guys tomorrow for episode number 1 of the Near Fall Podcast right here on the channel. Until then, guys, I am Chris. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, share the video all over social media, and I will see you guys tomorrow for episode number 1 of the Near Fall Podcast. Until then, I'm Chris. Have a great night. Talk to you guys later.